Hello everyone and welcome back to Caterpillar Cross Stitch. In today's video, we are going to be taking you behind the scenes at the 2025 Stitch Retreat. Before we begin today's video, I would just love to say a huge thank you to our official sponsors of the 2025 Caterpillar Stitch Retreat, Zweigart. We've been using their incredible fabrics for 10 years now. They're used in all of our cross stitch kits and we love them as a brand, as an organisation, and the people that we've had contact with there over the years. So we were thrilled to partner with them for this event. You will see products from Zweigart, freebies, goodies in the raffle and posters spread around within this video. So just to mention, big shout out and thank you to Zweigart, our favourite needlecraft fabric brand. And I'm so excited to share lots of footage with you and never seen before photos. So this year we had a brand new venue. It's called the Slate and it's at Warwick University. So it's not far from Caterpillar HQ at all, which worked really well. It was such a lovely, clean, well thought out environment. It was so peaceful and we were absolutely thrilled with the setting. It was next to this beautiful lake. It had fully functioning aircon and loads of natural light. So we were thrilled with the venue and we have in fact booked the exact same place for next year. Something new for this year was on the Friday night. So we had a twilight stitch on the first evening for a few hours. A big shout out to Georgia. Thank you so much for being a good sport and dressing up in this. Carlos was there to greet people. The queue didn't last for too long. Luckily, the weather was fantastic the whole long weekend and everyone loved seeing Carlos, taking selfies with him and waiting in the queue. And people could get any type of drink at the bar at the back. There were lots of cocktails going round, a bit of Prosecco, and of course teas and coffees. As all of the guests came in, people were very quickly registered. It was super organised this year and received their lovely goodie bags that were filled with all sorts of delights and treats, including a kit. Now this was themed around Warwick Castle and also a matching needleminder. There was a sweet treat in there and then there was lots of fabric and threads and other goodies. Of course, it was the project bag itself as well, which matched the whole theme. So on the Friday night, people started to take a seat, started just settling in, get to know each other and make friends, and just it was a really great opportunity to just relax and have that little bit of extra time. We didn't have any set activities planned for the Friday night, but I think sometimes people are a little bit anxious or apprehensive about just getting settled. So it was lovely to now have that extra time to just settle in and relax. I was a little bit nervous about this year, not quite as much as 2024, but I think I always am at events like this just because there's been so much time and effort and work that's gone into it. And I always want everyone to have the best time ever. And I think it's probably a good thing to be a little bit nervous because it means so much to you. So on to the Saturday morning. This was kind of the main event. We always start our events with a little bit of a motivational team talk, a bit of team bonding, and just really sets our team kind of mindset for the whole weekend, gets everyone going, kind of just outlines the positive attitude, the energy, the excitement, and what our goals are for these type of events, which is just to give you guys, our guests, the best experience possible and have something where you leave feeling fulfilled, a sense of belonging, creativity, and just a refresh of having that space mentally just for yourself to do something that you love. Guests were able to take a quick browse at the lovely vendors before we started. And then it was on to the big part for me, which was doing the speech. I definitely was not as nervous doing this year as last year. And thank you so much to the people that came up to me and said, Sally, you seem so much more relaxed this year and more laid back. I think that just comes with experience, time, but also trusting the team. And I couldn't have been more thrilled with my amazing team this year. So on to the speech.
It's amazing to see so many lovely, welcoming, happy faces here. So many of you from last year, I think about 90% of people from last year are back again. And amazing to see so many lovely new faces as well. But we really wanted to bring people together in real life and have these memorable experiences. And our mission at Caterpillar Crafts has always been to help others find the joy, but to really just come together in real life and to be able to see this as a community is really quite overwhelming. Can I have a show of hands? I know a lot of you have come from so far and wide, and we're so grateful for all of the effort and the travel to get here. Has anyone flown on a plane? Wave your arms in the air if you've come on a plane. Wow. Can we all just give you a big round of applause? And where have you come from today? Anyone with their hand up? Shout out.
USA.
USA! California in the lovely pink.
California.
And California as well.
Spain. Kansas City.
Kansas, yes. Spain. And Germany, guten Tag, wie geht's? Netherlands. Thank you all so much. Say my co-director, my husband, our operations director, or Swifty in training. All of the above. And Tim, as you know, loves the attention, so please someone can get a selfie. And then we have got Nikki, who is also wearing a lovely money bag for the charity raffle. And Catherine, who you might recognise from last year. And we've got Meg, who's the newest member of our team, also social media extraordinaire, so normally with a camera attached to her hand. And then we've got the lovely Ellie, we've got Joe, Sophie, who is our event manager, very organised, amazing, and we've got the lovely Mike, not in forest green, but in a caterpillar crochet. And shows the lovely rainbow caterpillar, crochet caterpillar. So thank you. So Mike will be here throughout the day at the back. Your title is Creative Director at Caterpillar Crafts. Now we have Caterpillar Crochet as well. I can't just say Caterpillar Cross Stitch anymore. And I'd love for you, as you've stepped through the doors this morning, to leave any worries behind. I know that's easier said than done. We really wanted to bring people together in real life and have these memorable experiences. And our mission at Caterpillar Crafts has always been to help others find the joy. But I wanted to let you know that once you're part of this community, you are supported by us no matter what. So thank you for being here. Thank you for the team. And for making this community so special. I wanted to end the first part of my speech just saying our mission, which everyone on the stage knows because we've got it printed in our reception area at work. But our mission here, summed up, is to foster a passionate and creative community where stitchers of all levels can thrive, delivering beautifully designed, really high quality products that always inspire joy. A big thank you to everyone who donated raffle prizes. There's 20 incredible prizes. Lots of prizes from our lovely vendors and other favourite businesses, including the big prize, everyone, the DMC £700 chest. Let's have an unforgettable weekend of stitching together. Thank you.
I love doing the speech because it really just sets the intention for the whole weekend and lets people know what they can expect. And it just gets sort of the vibe going and the energy, and everyone gets really excited. So once the speech was finished, guests could explore the shopping area. People started to take photos, buying raffle tickets. The Caterpillar Cross Stitch shop was open, and of course all of our other lovely vendors who will be listed down below in the description box as well. A big thank you to them for making the effort to come. They had some exclusive offers for us and a really lovely wide range of products for people to enjoy. I'm very excited to announce that tickets go on sale for the 2026 Stitch Retreat, which is taking place again at the Slate, Warwick University, this time on the 18th to the 20th of September 2026. And those 300 tickets go on sale on the 29th of October for members and 30th of October for non-members. So please be quick. They will go very fast. Check out our website, caterpillarcrossstitch.com then. People started getting out, of course, all of the stitching supplies and the goodies from the goodie bags, browsing products, discovering new tools, and picking up inspiration for their next projects. We had the swap shop as well, which was for charity. So people could take items they no longer needed there, swap it with someone else, and put a small optional donation into the box. We had some amazing raffle prizes this year. And the favourite, as always, is the big DMC chest, which is worth £700. We had some really cool photography props this year. As you can see, little Carlos faces. We had our glittery backdrop. And thank you so much to people that brought in gifts for us and little stitch decorations for our Christmas tree. Again, same as last year, we supported the local charity in Leamington Spa, Flourish, that help teenage girls with mental health and self-esteem through mentoring and courses and classes. And we raised a phenomenal £4,481, which we were able to send over. And that was more than £2,000 more than the 2024 retreat total. So that's incredible. Thank you so much, everybody. Now we did our quiz with the lovely Ellie. So we had these custom-made quiz sheets. Everyone, of course, had a quiz name. The quiz was loads of fun. There was a really good range of questions in there. Not too difficult, not too easy. So a big thank you to Ellie for preparing and presenting all of that. And the winners of the quiz won a needle minder each. The energy in the room was just so joyous. Genuinely, it was full of smiling faces, busy hands, people making friends everywhere you look, sharing tips and ideas. And it was like a deep breath, this sigh of relaxation, of being in a place where you feel connected to others, belonging, and just a safe space where people can just be themselves and switch off from everything else. And it really was a tonic. And I personally loved being there, and I loved sort of absorbing the energy from everyone else in the room as well. On the Saturday afternoon, we had a Q&A with myself, hosted by Nikki, which was loads of fun for me, actually. These questions were submitted by people beforehand, and it was lovely that people were able to continue stitching, and that was sort of going on in the background. So there were loads of different types of questions. And it just meant that I was able to respond to people's specific interests in a bit more detail, in a relaxed way. But everyone sort of took something from it, hopefully, and saw value in that. And it was just a really natural, sort of organic conversation between myself and Nikki, where people could understand the brand better. And things like, where did the name come from? What was the inspiration behind it? How do I design patterns? And it was just a lovely chat. We even had who would be my top retreat table guests, and I loved answering that question. We also had our brag table, and everyone brought their fully finished objects for myself and Catherine to judge. There was a few different criteria, and next year for 2026 we're going to have categories because there were so many incredible entries. It was really difficult to choose. So you can see actually over the course of the whole weekend, we're constantly looking back, pointing some out, gauging, which things have really jumped out to us. So that process was quite long, and it was very difficult to choose our 3 winners, which were announced on Sunday. A real highlight for me every year is the raffle. These prizes are so valuable, and especially with the big DMC chest. We went first this year, so the DMC chest winner was announced first, and it couldn't have gone better. It was an incredible reaction. The anticipation in the room as I was reading out the colour and the number on the ticket, you can see here, there was so much excitement. And then when the winner was announced, it was just such a lovely moment. And also handing out all of the different prizes, you can see here just the gratitude from everyone, the joy that it brought. It was all done very swiftly, very easily. We were able to hand out all the prizes. So a massive thank you to everybody who contributed a prize for the raffle. We'll also put all of them in the description box down below. We had lots of snacks on the go. We had tea and coffee, which was replenished throughout each of the days. So there was always a snack, there was always a drink to be had, and loads of space as well at the back of the room. So people could just hang out, take a break if they needed to in sort of a bit of a quieter environment. We even had this really fantastic bottle of Prosecco, which was bedazzled by our friends at Crystal Parade. And also we had the shopping separate this year. So we had a lovely balcony overlooking the lake if people needed a bit of fresh air. We had the space, the area right at the back near the tea and coffee. And then we also had the shopping area, which was near the main entrance. So there were lots of breakout areas where people could just relax and step out, stretch their legs. On the Saturday night, one of my favourite experiences was the official meet and greet. It was a little bit like my wedding day. There was a lot of smiling. My cheeks were hurting by the end of it, but it was absolutely incredible. I loved meeting everyone. And the way we did it here meant that we could have longer, deeper, more meaningful conversations, really get to know people and understand sort of where they'd come from, what their stitching journey has been like, and just really what people's lives are like, and get to know people on an individual basis. And that's what I love. I love having those deeper connections with our guests and really just understanding what part cross stitch plays in their lives. I'm so grateful to the people. I mean, everybody came from so far, but we had more than ever the amount of people coming internationally that had made so much effort. And some people had turned these 3 days into a week-long holiday. And a lot of the messages from people were that, you know, they didn't have any friends or family where they live that also cross-stitched, or that it was quite unusual for them to sort of be in this environment, and how grateful they were for us organising it. And it really was an absolute thrill and joy and privilege of mine and the whole team to be able to facilitate an event like this. This was something that actually we really enjoyed as well. And having those conversations on the Saturday night meet and greet was lovely. I loved all the photos. I loved the props. I loved even the sorority poses where we bent down with our knees. It was a lot of fun. And then later on the Saturday night, once we had finished the meet and greet, it was all about relaxing and stitching at your own pace. One thing I haven't mentioned was that on the Saturday we had a lovely lunch. This was over at the building, just over the way. It's just the other side of the lake. So that was all included as well. I believe it was a 2-course lunch, and the feedback was phenomenal. There was cheesecake, there was salmon, there was all sorts going on, lots of choice. We staggered the lunches and people could go quite quickly, and it just meant that everyone got through the Scarman restaurant quickly and with ease, and could just have a really relaxed, peaceful lunch full of delicious goodness, and then come back for more stitching. So the Saturday night was relaxing and getting to know each other. More drinks were supplied, more drinks, the bar was open again, and people could go for dinner, they could stay on campus, they could come back afterwards, and we were there until 10 p.m. on the Saturday night. On the Sunday morning, the sun was shining yet again, and we welcomed our guests in for day 3 at 9 a.m. Everyone was still bringing the energy, bringing the vibes. It was a great environment, very positive, lots of fun. And I think by this point, everyone's very relaxed and kind of settled in. We had a bell right at the front, which people could ring when they had finished a project. So of course, if you were stitching something quite small, then you got to ring that bell many more times. But it was so nice for everyone else to celebrate the finishes of different people. It didn't happen too often, to be honest, but it was a really lovely break in throughout the days. And it was really nice as well to see the projects that people were finishing. Also on the screens rotating, we had photos from our sponsor Zweigart. We had images of the full Caterpillar team, so people knew who they were talking to if they needed any help. And we also had gorgeous photos of finished cross-stitch pieces from the guests themselves, with their names also on the screen. So it was a really proud moment to be able to share those and celebrate everyone's stitching with the entire room. I did another very short welcome speech on the Sunday morning, And one of my favourite things that we did this year was we had a special golden envelope hidden under the table next to one special chair. So this was chosen at random, and we didn't know who was going to be there. So it was really exciting getting to announce that and watch 300 people across the room very quickly and excitedly sort of go under the table and reach and find out who was the lucky winner. And here we have the amazing winner. It was so lovely. I love in our group of stitchers how happy for everyone else people are. So inside the golden envelope, it had winner, and the prize was one of these exclusive tote bags. And inside we had a pen, notepad, special Caterpillar Cross Stitch branded water bottle, money can't buy bundle bag. So that was a really exciting moment. Also on the screens, we had the timings of the days, which meant really that no matter where people were, they all had the booklets as well, but it just meant they could very easily look up at the screen and see what's happening when, so that it was really reassuring. Also on that note, prior to the event itself, we did quite a few visits to the Slate and shared a lot of different images and videos on the retreat special exclusive Facebook group just for retreat attendees, to give people a walkthrough of the surrounding areas, where to park, where to go, what it looks like, even sort of where the toilets are, where they go for drinks, so that when people arrive, they just have that reassurance and know exactly what's happening and where. And of course, we had our lovely Mike from Caterpillar Crochet join us for the whole weekend. So he had a special table at the back of the room where people could pop in, have a look at the different crochet kits that we have got on offer, but get that one-on-one time with Mike so that they could actually learn the basics of crochet, learn how to get going, have a look at the kits, try some of them out. So Mike was never quiet. I think he had at least 4 people on his table at all times, but there was loads of hooks and yarn and patterns and things to try out. So it was a great way to try a different craft in a nice relaxed environment and basically have a free tutorial from Mike. Next came the culmination of the very difficult choosing process for our brag table. So we had 3 winners, first, second and third place, and they won Caterpillar Cross Stitch gift vouchers and a specially designed rosette, which was engraved in wood. So you can see it really is a difficult decision. They were all so different. We did ask that everything was fully finished off, and that could be by any designer or brand for the brag table. And between myself and Catherine, we went through them all and looked at the creativity, things that popped out, the time that had gone into them, the expertise, the attention to detail, how neat it was, but also if they had sort of a special story behind them, any particular connection, anything that just stood out to us that was really meaningful and special. So you can see now the winners of the brag table being announced.
So without further ado, we're going to start with third place first. This one was chosen because of a very unique story, one about love, romance, a proposal and even a flood with sewage. It's Julie with the wedding. Congratulations, Julie. This is a really exciting one because it's got engineering, it's got function, it's got fun and innovation, and it takes us through all 4 seasons of the year. It's the season of life. Here we are. First place. Very exciting. So this one is, I don't actually know the story, but I have made it up in my own head based on the information provided. It tells a story of memories, of love, of nature, and of meaningful flowers. It's Julia Paul with the poppies. Congratulations, Julia. This one has a beautiful photo of, I believe, is it Julia with your mum? And then in a poppy field, and there's a lovely story on there as well. Bringing back lovely memories, and there's a golden piece at the top that's engraved, and then the poppies are represented in the cross-stitch pattern as well. So congratulations to all of our 3 winners, and thank you everyone else for taking part.
The 3 projects that we chose for our winners were just incredible. One of them, the parents had proposed, someone had proposed, and there was a note with it, and it was a wedding kit. And there were so many lovely stories. It had survived a house flood. Someone's dad had helped make a special stand, this wooden stand for the seasons. So it was turning cross stitch and making it into something completely different, into a really sort of functional display, and just thinking outside the box. And this beautiful finished project here with the poppies had such a lovely story behind it, and a gorgeous photo as well to match, which was the inspiration behind the entire project. We also had a professional photographer on the Sunday morning, so we had an amazing shot of all of our guests together and all of the Caterpillar staff. The Smalls Exchange was another great success. Most people actually took part in the Smalls Exchange. So the optional theme was something that begins with the first letter of your name, and the little items were all fully finished, and they were around 3 or 4 inches square or circular, and things didn't need to be wrapped necessarily, and we didn't have any other sort of items included as well. It was just the Smalls Exchange, so we tried our best to make sure everything was similar in value and size. So everyone was very excited. They'd been given their tickets when they handed in their Smalls Exchange item, and then they were randomly handed out by our lovely team another prize. So everybody went back to their tables, opened up the Smalls Exchanges, and then they spent the next hour or so trying to find the person that made those projects. So it was another lovely way to connect with a stranger, and then sharing images on the Facebook group as well, on the special retreat group, to thank the people that had made them. Another exciting thing we added for this year was the group time stitch activity on the Sunday afternoon. And of course, we needed Carlos here as well to help us get motivated and offer a little bit of encouragement. So we wanted to see if we could set a world record and see how many stitches we could do in the room in a set period. And for this, we have the lovely Tim to explain a little bit more.
The good news is the current record is 0. It's never been attempted before. However, what we set today will be the benchmark for next year's retreat if we choose to try and beat it.
So maybe choose an area where you've just got one colour and you've got a nice little block, and you can get as much done as possible. We're going to see some smoke from these needles and zooming across the fabric, sparks flying, to see how many we can get done. We want no injuries, so just take it easy, guys. Look after your fellow table stitchers. Focus, eyes down. I'm loving the energy. All right, we're going to begin in 3, 2, 1. Get stitching! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Needles down! Well done everyone, you've just set a world record. So everything's been added up. Thank you so much everyone for taking part. 300 cross stitches, the most people stitching at the same time for 5 minutes with the most stitches in the entire world is 6,772. Congratulations. Number of stitches per person, because we did work out the averages, of 34.5 stitches per person within a 5 minute period. I don't have the table name, but it was whoever submitted this little piece of paper. Mandy's table over here.
On Sunday afternoon, as things started to wind down after our world record attempt, and I should say very successful attempt, we finished off our stitching, we made a few more friends, we asked questions, we connected with each other, and we had some group and table photos as well, which you'll see here. And it was just a final opportunity for people to just sit, relax, take in the atmosphere, gaze out over the peaceful lake and all of the geese, do the last few bits of shopping, enjoy a nice, peaceful cup of tea and coffee, and just finish off some lovely projects. The Sunday closed at 5 p.m. We had a few more photos. And of course, I couldn't let everybody go home without reading out a little cross-stitchy poem that I'd written.
We have nearly come to the end of our amazing 2025 Stitch Retreat. And I just wanted to close quickly by just saying, obviously, a huge thank you to everybody. I realise this is, it's quite the effort to travel from, even if that's an hour away or, halfway around the world. The effort to save up to come for the ticket itself, for all the costs associated with, accommodation and everything. It doesn't go unnoticed, and I'm so grateful that you decided to spend your time and energy and everything with us, not only the last 3 days, but for all year. So the support that you've shown me and made me feel part of the community is incredible. So thank you for making the effort to come, for the support. And I think would you not agree, just the energy and vibes in the room. I don't know how better to describe it, just the energy. There's so much love. Just feeling part of the same thing. I of course want to say a massive thank you to my own team. With needles and fabrics, our stitches are pulled tight, although don't pull them too tight. We've shared our stories and tips from morning to night. Every tiny cross is a memory made. In laughter and friendship, our worries, they'll fade. Our stash will carry, the joy will keep. The threads of connection that I've noticed, they run flowing and deep. Thank you to new and old friends for the time heaven sent. A retreat stitched with love and our time well spent.
So I hope you enjoyed that little wrap up of the 2025 Caterpillar Stitch Retreat. We absolutely loved hosting you all. Just to confirm timings, on the Friday it was from 7 until 10 p.m, the Saturday was 9 a.m. until 10 p.m, and Sunday was 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. And I just wanted one more time to say a big thank you to our Caterpillar community for making the event so special. I'm really grateful for all of your support, and nothing makes us happier than witnessing the growth of the Caterpillar family, making new friends, and just being in a really inspirational atmosphere that we have created all together. Tickets will go on sale for the 2026 Stitch Retreat on the 29th of October for members and 30th of October for non-members. It will be at the Slate, Warwick University again, and it's going to be held from Friday the 18th of September 2026 until Sunday the 20th of September. Timings should be similar, but subject to change. All the details will be available on our website, caterpillarcrossstitch.com, from the 29th of October onwards if you are a member. We do have a maximum of 300 places again, and we had over 90% of our 2024 guests come again in 2025. So I am predicting that it's going to be quite a busy couple of days on the 29th and 30th of October this year, with people getting tickets to secure their places for next year. So if you would love to join us for 2026, then please do get onto our website as quickly as you can. And don't forget to sign up for email updates so you'll get a direct link to be able to purchase your ticket. The link is down below in the description box under Stitch Club, and it's completely free, and you will get email updates of when those tickets go out on the 30th of October on general release. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you've really enjoyed it. Please do subscribe to this YouTube channel. We are trying to reach 100,000 subscribers by the time we get to Christmas. Let's see if we can do it. And I'll see you next time.